Hello and welcome to my channel Crochet and Copy. My name is Judy. Today I'm going to show you how to make this lovely star stitch headband. Let's get started. Before we get started, I just want to let you know the measurement of our headband. The width of it is almost 4 inches and the circumference of our headband without being stretched out, it's 21.5 inches. So that's our measurements of our headband. So these are supplies we're going to be using to make our headband. I'll go over them with you. The yarn that we're using is the Lion Brand yarn. It's the basic stitch. The color is baby blue, 4 medium and 100% acrylic. And the next yarn, everything is the same. It's just the color is different. So the color is the Fairview. And we're going to use only one of each to complete our project. And we're going to have to use our stitch marker, scissors, our yarn needle, and our hook that we're going to be using is the US J10. It's the 6.0 millimeter, and that's it for our supply. So let's get started. Before we get started, I just want to let you know we're going to be using the baby blue yarn. I'm going to do a Slipknot stitch. This is how I do my Slipknot stitch. There's many methods of doing it, so please feel free in doing it the way you're comfortable. I take my yarn, drape it over my 2 fingers, let it fall to the back, take my hook, put it between my 2 fingers and pull up a loop. There you go. We have a little knot and tighten it against your hook. There you go. That's our Slipknot stitch. So now we're going to chain 14. Show you how to chain. Chain is just yarn over your hook and pull across. That's it. Yarn over and pull across. That loop we have on our hook, see we have a loop here. So yarn over, pull across. Yarn over and pull across, and that's a chain. So we're going to need 14. So far we did 1, 2, 3, 4. So go ahead and complete doing 10 more and I'll meet you there. Okay, so we made our 14 chain. So now we're going to pull up loops. So it's going to be the second chain from our hook. We're going to pull up a loop, and this will be the first one right there. So we're going to go into this one. This will be our second one. So start with that. And we're going to do that 5 times. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And by doing that 5 times, we're going to have 6 loops on our hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. Now yarn over and you're going to pull across all 5 of them at the same time. That's it. So to complete now the pattern, because we're going to be using the star stitch for our headband, you just chain 1 to complete it. And that's the hole in place. I think it's so cute already. We're just getting started. So now what we're going to do to make our next star stitch, we're going to go right into the eye of the previous one we just made right here. We're going to pull up a loop because we want to pull up 6 loops. So that's our first loop. And to the side of our star stitch right here, we're going to go into that and pull up a loop. And into the chain that we pull up our last loop to make this star stitch right there. So you have 3, and now the following 2 chains we're going to pull up loops. So now double check, make sure you have your 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6 loops on your hook, yarn over, and we're going to pull across all 6. Not too tight, but nice enough. So our start stitch come out. And remember to complete it, you chain 1. And that's our second star stitch. Okay, let's move on. So again, we're going to go back into the eye, pull up a loop, go to the side, here, pull up a loop, and the last chain, pull up a loop, and the next 2 chain. right here. Right here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over and pull across all 6 at the same time. To complete it, chain 1. Next one, go into the eye, pull up a loop, to the side, pull up a loop, then in the last chain we pull up from the previous star stitch, and then the following 2 chain. Pull across. Now we have two chain left, so complete our star stitch by chaining, and then we're going to go into the eye, pull up a loop, to the side, pull up a loop, and the last 2 chain. Pull across and chain 1 to complete. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We completed 5 star stitch. So now in that same chain, the last chain, and we pull up our last loop, we're going to put 1 single crochet there, and a single crochet is just go into that chain, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull across. That's it. Chain 1, and we're going to turn our work now, because that was for row 1. So now we're going to start working on row 2. So now for row 2, the pattern is that we're going to do is we're going to half double crochet into each eye of, or the center of our star stitch. So half double crochet is yarn over before you go into the, hopefully you could see it good. It's right there. We're going to put 2. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, you're going to pull across all 3 of them. And that's it to do the half double crochet. Yarn over, back into that same eye, the center of it, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull across 3 of the loops on your hook, and that's it. So go to the next one. So there's like a stitch here, but you're not going to go there. So you skip that one and you go in only in the eye. So you're going to do that to get to the end. I'll show you what to do next. I'm going to show you one more time how to do the half double crochet. Yarn over, go into the eye, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull across all 3 of them. Again, yarn over before you go into that same stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over to complete it and pull across. That's it. So do that for additional 1, 2, 3 more times, and I'll show you what to do next. So we made it to the last stitch to do for row 2, and see that next stitch right there, because we put in each of the center of our star stitch from row 1, we put 2 half double crochet. So that next stitch right there, we're gonna like skip that, and then we're gonna go to the side here and we're gonna put 1 single crochet. So it's like from row 1 where we have the side of our star stitch, when the first one we made. So right there, the side, you put 1 single crochet, and again the single crochet is just go into that stitch, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over to complete it, pull across those 2 loops, and that's it. So for the completion of row 2, you have 11 stitches. Now to start row 3, we're going to chain 3. So chain again is just yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull up a loop. And that's it. And then turn your work. So now what we're going to do, we're going to start making the star stitch design again for this row. This is row 3. So you're going to pull up a loop in these little, like I said, bumps of the chain we made. So you pull up a loop there, and that's the second chain from your hook, and this will be the third chain from your hook. Pull up a loop there, and then into the first stitch that we start this row with, pull up a loop there, and the following 2 stitches we're going to pull up loops there too, because we're getting 6 loops on our hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, 6 loops on your hook, and to complete it, you put a loop on your hook and pull across all 6 at the same time. Remember, not too tight but not too loose. And then to complete the star stitch, chain 1. And that's it. That's the start of our first star stitch for row 3. So now the pattern for the following stitches, we're going to pull up loops again. So go into the center, the eye of our star stitch, pull up a loop. Remember, we want 6, so the side, pull up a loop, and in that same spot that we end off with the first star stitch for this row, pull up a loop in there, and the following 2, pull up a loop. So double check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yarn over to complete it, and pull across all 6, and then chain 1. There you go. I'll show you another time. Go into the center, the eye, pull up a loop to the side of that star stitch, pull up a loop, and into the last loop we pull up from the previous star stitch, and the following 2 chain. Pull up loops, 6 loops on your hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pull across all 6, chain 1. So that's the pattern for row 3. So keep on doing that till you get to the end, and I'll show you what to do next for the completion of row 3. So now we are at the end of row 3, and we did our chain to complete that last star stitch. So when we're completing a row with the star stitch pattern or star stitch cluster, you're going to make sure you have your 5. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see the eyes or the center? So for this last row, row 3, what you're going to do in that same stitch that we pull up that last loop for our star stitch, you're going to do 1 single crochet, and single crochet again is just go into that stitch, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and that's it. So that's the completion of row 3. Okay, now we're going to start row 4. So to start row 4, chain 1, turn our work, and for the center of our star stitch, we're going to put a half double crochet. Again, a half double crochet is yarn over before you go into that stitch, and then pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over to complete it, and pull across all 3. So you're going to put 2 half double crochet into each of our center of our star stitch from the previous row. So yarn over, go into that same stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull across. So that's the pattern you're going to do here, 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 and here. And when you get to the end, I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so we made it to our last stitch to do for row 4, because we put in each center of our star stitch, we put a half double crochet, 2 of them. So now you're going to put 1 single crochet into the top of that chain 3 that we started row 3 with up there. It's going to be a little tight, so open it up as best as you can, get your hook in there, and then pull up a loop, because it's 1 single crochet to complete it, yarn over and pull across. That's it, and that's the completion of row 4, and you have 11 stitches. Now to start row 5, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn our work, and you're going to pull up loops as we did in row 3, because now for row 5 and the following rows till we get all the way up to row 38, you're going to repeat these 2 rows. You're going to repeat row 3, that's the star stitch design, and then the half double crochet, and that's row 4. So you're going to repeat row 3 and row 4 17 times. Jot down where you're at, because we're going to meet all the way up to row 38. So remember, you could pull up loop 6 times, and the completion you put your single crochet. So keep on working, I'll meet you there. Okay, now we made it up to row 38, and we did that pattern for 17 times with the 1 row of our star stitch and the other row of our half double crochet, and we finished with the half double crochet row. So all you're going to do to complete it is just do 1 chain and pull up a nice size loop of yarn about 10 to 14 inches, cut it off, and I'll show you what to do next. So from where we started with our tail, we're going to tuck it in now. So I have my yarn needle attached to it, and we're just going to weave it in. So we completed hiding the tail from where we started our work. So now I'm back to where we left the tail when we end off with that 10 to 14 inches. So we're going to sew it together. So you're going to bend it in half, and it's the right side facing us. So then we're going to use what's called a mattress stitch. So we're going to go up the sides of 2 of our pieces together. So you're going to go over here, just tuck it, and now you're going to come back. But when you come back, you're going to go underneath the 2 loops. And if you could see it good, and this is what's called the mattress stitch. And then you go back to where you came from, but now you're going to go underneath and back over, underneath, back over, underneath, and this is all we're going to do. Back, under, back on the other side, underneath, and you give it a little tug as you go to keep it nice and together. Not too much, because we don't want it to lose the tension of our work. So back underneath, so it's like, if you want to refer to it, it's like lacing up your shoes. So it's underneath, back, forward, back and forth, back and forth, underneath. And give it a little tug as you go. Okay, so we made it to the end, so we're just going to tuck it inside, and you're going to just weave it inside. And that's it. And then I'll show you what to do next. So that's how we look when we sew up our headband. We sew down the edges. So now we're going to work on the top part of our headband. And what I call the top part of our headband is where we were doing the chain 3, and you put that single crochet in the chain 3, because here you see these are where we chain 1 in the same space we finish with our star stitch. So you get those. That's how it looks. So now we're going to add our new yarn. We're going to get the new color yarn, and the new color yarn was the Fairview yarn, and we're going to slip stitch right where the last we finish off with the star stitch, because you know the star stitch, it has like that loop. So we're going to go attach it right to the first one, right there. I hope I'm explaining correctly to you. And pull up a loop of yarn. Give it a nice tack. I will tuck it in later. Okay. And chain one to hold it in place. And that's how you attach the new color yarn. So now, because we're going to put one single crochet around, and we're going to be working a spiral, and single crochet again is just yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over to complete it, and pull across. We're going to put our stitch marker in so we know where we started. So that's one, and try my best to show you where to put them. 2 single crochet, and 3. So just 1 single crochet around. Go ahead and put 61 single crochet around, and I'll meet you back at the stitch marker. So now we completed doing that, putting a single crochet, and we put the last single crochet in that same spot we pull up the yarn when we started the new yarn, the slip stitch, and that gives us our 61 single crochet for completion of round 1. Now for round 2, we're going to do, the pattern is going to be the reverse single crochet. So to do that, you're going to chain 1, and that first stitch right there, we're going to put 1 single crochet, but we're doing it in reverse. And that's it, because if we were continuing, we'd have, see where our stitch marker was, we'd have went in there and do a regular single crochet and keep on going around, but now we're going the opposite direction. So go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, then yarn over to complete it, and that's it. Go into it, the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over to complete it, pull across those 2 loops you have on your hook. So it's the regular single crochet, it's just the way how we're doing it now. Feels a little funny when you first start doing it, but don't worry, practice and you will get it. Take your time and you feel it, and you get used to it. So that's it, how we're doing the reverse single crochet. So in each single crochet that we did from round 1, you're going to just do 1 reverse single crochet. So go like underneath and pull up on the side almost, and then you have your 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull across those 2. Underneath, into the side, pull up, yarn over, complete it, pull across. And that's how we look when we do a reverse single crochet. I think it looks nice. So we're at our last reverse single crochet to do. Okay, we made it back to our stitch marker. Take out your stitch marker, and this will make our 61 reverse single crochet. So go into that stitch, pull up a loop, and then to complete it, pull across another loop. So now what we're going to do, that first reverse single crochet we started, we're going to slip stitch to that one. Okay, so to complete round 2, just you have to get underneath those 2 loops, and we're going to slip stitch it there. Okay, and slip stitch is just yarn over, and we're going to pull across all those loops we have on our hook, and that's it. Okay, so we pull across, we did our slip stitch. So now you're just going to pull up a nice little tail, and we're going to cut it off, and then I'll show you how to weave it in. Cut off my yarn and attach my yarn needle to my yarn. So now we're going to hide it inside so we could tuck it in. So you go in and do the best as you can to just hide it, because we're going to go inside. And that's how it looks. And just weave it in couple of times. I like to go up and down, weave it back and forth, and also where we began, tuck that in. Okay, so that's it. We tucked in our ends. That's how we look when we tuck it in, because that's the inside of our headband, and this is the outside, the right side facing us. I think it came out pretty nice with our star stitch headband. I was looking forward to doing it. I wanted to do a star stitch pattern, and I said, let me use the headband. So it came out really nice. Also wanted to show you that you could use different color yarns, of course, to make it, because this will be the top of the headband, or you could flip it the way you like to, but I designed it with the reverse single crochet to be on the top. But please feel free to mix it up, and different colors, as you see, give you different option. Congratulations, you have finished making your headband. Great work. I think it came out really nice. I hope you enjoyed doing it as much as I did. Let me know how your project come out. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.